are these music AI companies a scam? Our service allows users to transform their voice into any voice. If you then go and use this platform to create a song, you are now exposed. There's at least one case that has come down that this whole fair use argument, it's not working out so good. So I'm just gonna pause. We're just gonna take a moment. Exposing AI companies. More specifically, we're looking at music AI companies and whether these things are scams. So what I'm asking my community to do is that as new apps and websites come out claiming to be able to help you in your creative process and to create solutions, awesome. I love it. I am an, AI, law, copyright, intellectual property attorney, and I've done this for over 10 years. And my goal with this channel is just to make sure that you guys are legally protected. So as these companies come out with these big claims and we have all these lawsuits and problems happening behind the scenes, I want to make sure that you guys don't get into hot water. So we're officially starting the series. If you're excited, give this video a big thumbs up. This is, well, I guess we'll call it, are these music AI companies a scam? All right, so on the chopping block today, I have two companies that we're going to be looking at. The first is called Lalals. All right, so we're on the Lalals website. Quite the claim here. It goes, you can get studio quality AI audio tools, clone voices, sing like anyone, create music with cutting-edge AI, 100% royalty-free. So when we're using, for example, competitor brands such as Suno and Udio, we've gone through the terms for those companies. And for example, Suno, as long as you have a paid subscription, what you create, you own. And they go, you can use it however you want, commercial purposes, it's all good. So we go, well, the company's saying you're good to go, but is there anything that we need to be concerned about? And we've gone on the deep dive. Okay, but we're focusing right now on Lalals. And what they're saying is you can clone voices, sing like anyone. And notably on the front page, I'm like, oh boy, look at these names here. Drake, Justin Bieber, apparently young Michael Jackson, Taylor Swift, David Bowie, Kurt Cobain, Adele. So for me, my spidey sense as a lawyer is just going off because I go, well, if you're saying I can basically create a voice to sound like these celebrities, well, you better have permission from these celebrities. So before we're even talking about intellectual property stuff, we're talking about publicity rights. You watching this right now, you are in charge of who's allowed to use your face, your name, right? Your image, your likeness. These are rights that are embedded in law, and no one gets to use any of those things without your permission. Really, really important. So for me, this is quite the claim on just being like, well, they are providing this service. This is a company that is in operation and, well, it looks like it's also paid. Let's see what that looks like. So pricing. So they have all kinds of tiers. Looks like, fairly reasonably priced. So you can get 10 different voices for free. Oh boy, you don't even have to pay anything. And then you get higher quality, more voices as you go into the first paid tier. And the other thing here too is that this can be really risky. For those of you who ever just throw a celebrity's picture on your website for something, you have to be so careful because exactly what I'm saying. The reason why you don't get to just use someone's face on your website and be like, hey, Taylor Swift is right here. It makes it look like she's endorsed this, right? So you could be like, well, first of all, are we okay to have all these songs that are going to be created on this platform using her voice? That's issue number one. Issue number two, did she say she's working with Lalals? I don't know definitively the answer to this. I reached out to this company a week ago just to see if I could give them a heads up and give them an opportunity to kind of give me their response, and they didn't respond. So at this point, all I can do is guess, but I'm gonna guess in order to get all of these celebrities okay, probably didn't get it. So that's a big issue. So why does this matter for you? Well, this matters for the company in that any one of these celebrities may just sue the pants off of them to get them to stop. But the reason why it matters for you is because if you then go and use this platform to create a song using Taylor Swift's voice and you release it, you are now exposed because you created the thing, released it, put it on distributor or through a distributor onto music platforms. The chain of liability now extends to you because you participated in the infringement. And I look at this and I go, okay, so is it fraudulent? Is it a scam? Well, what it is for sure is promoting something that potentially may expose you to legal issues. Now, if, of course, we find anything else about this company and everything is, permitted and licensed, boy, I hope that's the case. Going back to Suno and Udio, one of the things that still just haunts me is we're waiting for these decisions from courts to come down specific to these different platforms on if they used copyrighted content, if they used songs belonging to record labels and artists and others. Is that permissible? And so there's a whole lot of lawsuits by record labels saying no. So that's why we care so very much about not just the final output, so such as this being like your final output featuring Drake, probably problematic. But we also care about what source data was used in the creation of the thing that now you're going to be like, this is mine. I'm going to sell it. I'm going to try to monetize it. If you're needing legal help, feel free to reach out to Delgado Entertainment Law, which is my firm. We offer free case evaluations with our case manager. So just meaning you don't have to make any kind of commitment. We'll just see how we can help you. Feel free to call us. You can text, you can email. We look forward to hearing from you. So the last piece of this that I always look at is going to be the terms of service. So the terms of service are going to be what governs the relationship between you and the company. Because I go, well, I don't know, maybe this company says, if you end up getting sued, if you end up getting a claim, we got your back. We're going to, I don't know, indemnify you or something. So let's take a look at what those terms say. Here we go, well, one thing I'm gonna notice right out the gate is that these are really short. So more like robust terms generally, in my experience, looking at hundreds and hundreds of these, is that, for more well-developed companies, they have very, very robust, very long terms of service. So I go, very short. Okay, that's an initial red flag here. And let's start here. The AI voices, right? So Lalals provides voice transformation services to its users. Our service allows users to transform their voice into any voice of their choice, including celebrity voices for speaking, singing, or rapping purposes. You acknowledge that our voice transformation service is provided as is, as available. We do not guarantee that our services will meet your requirements uninterrupted. You acknowledge that our voice transformation services are provided using AI. All right, here we go. Using AI and machine learning algorithms. Our AI vocals are also trained with legal material. All right. We're just going to pause. We're just going to take a moment. Our AI vocals are also trained with legal material. What does that mean? When you're looking at these things and they're not well defined, that's a big red flag for me as an attorney. So I go, not defined, generally speaking, doesn't mean anything because it's like, just with legal material. Does that mean just like how, what was it, Suno and Udio? They're like, we got and trained our AI by going to publicly available music platforms. I'm like, what does that mean? Did you go to Spotify? Turns out they did. They went somewhere, that's for sure. Okay, but anyway, they go, we use and trained with legal material, but we do not take any liability for the produced samples. We make no warranties or representations regarding the accuracy, reliability, or completeness of our voice transformation services. You acknowledge that our voice transformation services may not be suitable for all purposes. You're solely responsible for determining whether our services meet your need. If they had been like, just letting you know, we totally did a deal with Taylor Swift and she gave us the okay, and we have legally cleared the voices that are used on our platform. So, for example, we've interviewed and done, collaborations and stuff like that with, Ben Jordan, and he has Voice Swap, which is another AI company that helps you get a voice if you need a voice for your music. But they have to actually go through and source contracts. Tina, is it okay that we use your voice and so that can be on people's songs and it's your likeness and all that good stuff? And Tina's like, yeah, cool. And then Tina gets a kickback. That's the proper way to do this. All right, so with that being said, we're going to then move on to the second company, which is Mureka. All right, so this is the homepage right here, and you guys dropped this a couple of times. Kind of interesting. As I was going through, I go, okay, so if we're gonna create, and then I noticed this little reference button. I go, what's this? So I go into the reference, and it gave me these options. And I go right away, I go, oh, look at that. Lady Gaga, Abracadabra. Some other references. We see Espresso, right? Sicko Mode featuring Drake. And immediately, once again, I go, what we do know is that for all these, platforms that have really, really blown up like Suno and Udio, they make super duper clear that you cannot put in, I need a song that sounds like Eminem, principally because of the publicity issues, right? You're not allowed to do that. But then also from that, we really don't want to have copyright infringement claims. We don't want AI essentially just regurgitating something out. And that's the basis of these lawsuits, like Anthropic, right? So think of ChatGPT, right? So Anthropic is very similar. It's like a chatbot, right? And so the lawsuit was like, hey, we went in and our users were like prompting for you to write lyrics, and you literally spit out full lyrics for other people's songs. You cannot do that. So that's where the whole like, where have you trained your AI on? And is it either getting mimicked in the new stuff that is being created by AI, or is literally AI just like copying it, which is a no-go. So these are all the ways that you guys end up getting harmed in this, because you're like, oh, I just used it for my quick lyrics. Oh, I just used it for my quick melody. And then lo and behold, Universal is suing you. And we don't want that to happen. So any case, whenever I see big names on these websites, I'm like, what is this? So in this case, we go, well, there we go. We see Lady Gaga. Okay. And I played this before I started recording. It is in fact her song. It's not like a cover. It's literally her song on this website. So I go, okay, well, did Lady Gaga team up with this company, give the old green light? I don't think so. But let's move on. So in the reference, it goes, there's 2 ways we're going to help you make a song. And you need to just tell us how you want the song to feel and give us the reference. So here's the thing, as a user, I'm like, man, this is very intuitive. This really speaks to me. So that way, all I have to do is just give it a little reference of a song, or in this case, give it a YouTube link. All right. So over here on the left, you can either upload an audio and then it will generate a new song for you that is very similar, right? Or provide a YouTube link. So that means any song by anyone, doesn't have to be you, probably won't be you. So meaning the issue of people stealing other people's music and putting it up into this system, but then also just like going into YouTube and just like, I love this, I really want something that is similar to it. So you grab the YouTube link. And then guys, one of the problems here, and this is why I, as an artist myself, I am so reluctant to ever put any of my music into, let's say, Suno or Udio in order to kind of like guide it to help me write a top line or whatever, because these platforms all say in their terms, we reserve the right to use your stuff in other people's outputs that are made on this platform. So meaning literally your music could end up in someone else's output. So I don't like that for my stuff, right? It makes me real nervous. But then conversely, I go, that means anyone using this platform could use any link whatsoever. So that means you're helping to train the AI without the third party's knowledge, awareness, or consent. You see why I'm like, ooh, cool, right? Creating a convenience, but let's not jump to conclusions here. All right, let's take a look at their terms. All right, so these are the terms of service, and in my just like weird pointing things out kind of thing, this is a picture because I was just trying to simplify this. I always like copy and paste these terms into like a Word document. I highlight stuff and make them really big for you guys. So I just try to make it more intuitive as we're going through. And this is like a picture. I couldn't copy anything. And I'm like, it's just so weird. Okay, I'm just going to read it to you. You guys are just going to have to stare at my face. All right. So basically, it goes with the license. If a user who has purchased credits, paid a tier of service, ownership, title, interest in and to AI music content generated by Mureka, the output, including without limitation, all intellectual property rights contained therein belong to you. I was like, oh, great. Except earlier in the terms, it literally says you can only use this platform for non-commercial purposes. At a minimum right now, this isn't well written and we have terms that conflict. So non-commercial meaning you can make it for yourself on your computer. That's cute. You don't get to do anything with it. Can't put it on music platforms, can't sell it, right? Can't do anything. So that conflicts. But if you are using a free tier, this is where it gets really messy. So if you are using a free tier, Mureka owns all the right, title, and interest in and to the output made by you. So just like not good. They own it. You do not. Okay. Mureka grants you a license solely for your internal non-commercial purposes, provided that you give attribution. So you have to give us credit. You got to, let us know you use this platform. You acknowledge and agree that Mureka has an unrestricted, assignable, sublicensable, irrevocable, royalty-free license throughout the universe to basically use what you create. Okay. And this is where it did get kind of similar to some of the other music AI platforms that we've reviewed, where they say, hey, per usual, when you upload your stuff into our system, we get it. You're giving us a license. It's royalty free. We're not going to pay you anything for it. You're going to help continue training our AI. And then also, your stuff may end up in the output for someone else's creative thing. So that's what that says. Oh yeah, this made me laugh. All right, section 4. All right, so on user content, because I go, all right, what I didn't see on the front page and stuff like that is they didn't really address, publicity stuff. They talk about publicity rights in their user content. And so they go, rights to user content with respect to recording audios, videos, other content from other material you upload or post, which is the user content, so your stuff. You represent and warn that you own all right, title, and interest. Cool, cool, cool. But also, by putting it on our platform, you not only grant us a license to your stuff, but by posting it on our website and using the services, you give us publicity rights to your name, your likeness. And for me, again, that's just stuff where I'm like, no, I don't want to give you my name. I don't want to give you my picture. I don't know. You're not going to use any of this stuff. So that's what that says. Not loving that. All right. And then licenses to user content. By submitting user content on or through the service, you hereby grant to us in assignable, sublicensable, royalty free, meaning we're not going to pay you anything, the right to, I need like gold falling from the sky or something with this, all the rights through all the universe to advertise, market, promote our company, our services, displaying or sharing your stuff that you made on our platform in association with our services. Okay, so they're going to do this. They can do it commercially. They can use your name without your permission. Generally speaking, and we're not, the first issue was a totally different thing. And I go, yikes, I'm really concerned about someone using a platform that you can just use a YouTube link for, because I go, well, then how much in the final output is your thing similar to the reference link that you gave? It's the same issue with Suno and Udio of, if you do not know, truly, if you do not know the reference tracks that were used, or in this case, you do know because you gave it. And if your song is too close, which is part, like literally, I don't know what to say other than I'm a copyright attorney, I litigate. And part of what we do is we go, hey, did you have access to the song that they're saying you infringed? Okay. Is your song really similar to their song? Okay. Well, copyright infringement. These are the concerns that I have, but specifically for a company like this to be all like, yeah, just like upload stuff and there's going to be no filtration. That is going to be the only saving grace for Suno, for Udio, if any. They're trying to fight this with fair use, but actually, as of today, we're reporting there's at least one case that has come down that this whole fair use argument, it's not working out so good. So in any case, the only saving grace that these companies have is if they have strong filters. So they go, well, yeah, we trained our AI on your stuff. We think it's okay, pursuant to fair use. And our filters are so strong that the AI is prevented from too closely mimicking. So it's not copyright infringement. We're creating new things. It was just inspired by. So this is why this caught my eye with these two companies in particular. And so let's do a quick little recap. So as far as you using these services, and what I care about is how can this potentially impact you, is if you are using someone's name, likeness, voice, and you did not get their permission, it could be problematic for you. If you are using a company who says, hey, I got you Jane's voice, you're going to use Jane's voice. Where did Jane's voice come from? For the company and the subscription that you're paying for, what is that company doing to make sure that they are ethically sourcing the person's voice? So important. And I know there's so many creators out there and who watch this channel, so I want to make sure you're protected. And then number two, to the extent you're using one of these other platforms and you're like, hey, if you can literally give it directions on, I need a rap song that sounds like Eminem. And it's like, sure, if it's going to spit something out that is very close to an Eminem song, my question is, why would you not be exposed to potential liability and a lawsuit by Eminem? So guys, like I said, this is going to be an ongoing series. These are just the first two companies that came across my docket, so I definitely want you to drop a comment down below. Let me know what other AI companies you want me to look at and review, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm top music attorney, Miss Krystle.